radius is 2. What's the diameter? 4. 2 times the radius is 4. So the circumference is what? 12.56. So in my rectangle, area is length times the width. My circumference is the length, so it's 12.56. My width is what? 5 feet. So if I multiply that out, what do I have? Think about it. Top, bottom, right, left, front, back. Did this work for you today with me delivering the majority of the lesson and you helping the ones that needed help? Did that?
That works best for me.
Okay.
Because I've been in math, but I don't know the depth of it that the majority of the gen ed teachers have.
Okay.
I mean, that wasn't my area.
Okay.
My area was.
Okay. Because I'm comfortable with it, but I always want to make sure that that you're comfortable with it as well.
But I'll just interject
And-
how I've done in the past. Like when we sit down and plan,
Uh-huh.
I'll say, well, I'm comfortable with this. Like I'm very comfortable with geometry. Geometry is a good area for me to work in. But
Yeah.
some other areas are not. Like
Not
for instance,
as-
in 8th grade, I can't do slope.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I've been doing that for 10 years.
Remember y equals mx plus b.
Yeah, they're letters. They're letters. They don't mean nothing to me. So whenever they do that, I do a lot more of assisting them. But if it's an area that I'm very comfortable and very familiar with.
And that's when we go over our plans each week. We'll mark sections, and you'll teach that section, and I teach, I'll teach the others or whatever. And we divide it out, and you do the problem of the day a lot, and I really appreciate that. When you go over the problem of the day, I can get the attendance and the things that the office needs. And
that helps me also because with me transferring from one room to the next, if I get stopped, I can say, I got to go. And I have a job to do. It's not like I'm just walking around and they think, he can talk to me and take care of this issue. So with a role, it's defined as a role, I can come in and say, this is my responsibility. I have to be here at this time.
okay,
So that works.
works well for you
Works
then.
very well for me.
Okay,
Because
because it allows me to get some that are lagging behind and not on task, and then I can get the office paperwork settled and situated. And so I really appreciate you doing that.
No.
But you're comfortable with my format.
Yeah,
There's
I'm very
nothing you
comfortable.
need
I'm
changed.
comfortable with that format. What I've done with other teachers, I use Google a lot. I'm very comfortable with Google, and so we run a Google Doc, and they'll send me an email when that document has been changed, and then I can log in, and then I can add my parts to it, and I always note by my initials. I'll say, well, this is what some
The
students,
modifications.
Yeah, these are what some students will be working. This group will be working on this, and then a lot of times I can do work down in my office when writing IEPs because I run 2 computers. So while they're typing on their response, then I can see it, but I can also be working on my stuff so that I can.
Mesh it all together.
Yeah, I can juggle 2
Okay.
things. So
As long as
that
the
works.
step-by-step works for you,
That works.
then we'll continue with that. I think our accountability measures for who's doing what, we divided those up at the beginning of the year, and I think they're working really well, especially given how many times you're pulled to sub or whatever. Using this format, if you're not available, I can just, cover, slide in, but dividing it out, it's great covered, and we can reach more kids that way. So I think that works real well in hitting who needs the extra one-on-one help. So I'm pleased with that this year. I think that's working for us. I do appreciate you too, moving your lunch back a half an hour so that you can hit some common planning time with me after your last 8th grade class, because otherwise it would have to be done after school or
And it's just
whatever.
once a week.
Yeah.
It's a once a week. But I mean,
So-
we're available though, that's why like we stop in to touch base. And then if I need to, then I mean, it's very easy for me to swing by and message you or someone trying to find you after school, so that works.
Yeah, I'm usually here.
And I like how, I mean, you know where you're going.
Uh-huh.
So when I come in and we sit down the plan, we got a path, more or less, for
Uh-huh.
us.
Our instructional styles, I appreciate when you jump in and you think of a different real life situation, using it, what math I'm giving an example of on the board, and because sometimes it's a perspective I don't think of. So I appreciate when you do that. So please continue to do that. And I appreciate when you can give me the heads up on what works and what doesn't work with certain kids, because you've had them last year in 6th grade. Because certain kids just need different ways of showing how to do it. So I really appreciate that viewpoint. I think probably when we first started working together and we sat down and we talked about what our classroom expectations was for behavior and then our students' learning,
Once we were
it
on the
set
same
us on the right page. And since then we worked very well together, and I'm really glad we did that, because I think that opened up a lot of gray area.
Yeah.
You talked it all out beforehand, and so I appreciate that it made everything go a lot smoother for us.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
One thing I thought about, I know you'll have IEP meetings coming up, and with the state tests coming up, are there any students that you need some information on coming up in the next few weeks that I need to keep work samples or anything for? Because I like it when you let me know when you've got IEPs coming,
Yeah, I usually-
so that I can save that.
I send that. Well, I usually do send out the little memo 2 weeks
Uh-huh.
ahead, and that goes along with my grid sheet. If you'll notice, it's colored, so I have red, yellow, and then so when it's yellow, that's a 4 weeks time window frame.
Okay.
So that's when I start collecting all of my data, so that within 2 weeks I can send out my notices to parents, and then schedule my IEPs, and then all
Okay.
that. So
So I'll just
We're on
keep
track.
watching for emails to make sure that I have what you need. Well, it's our room, so should be our rules, not, one
and I
or
like
the other.
we did that. We did set up our rules. I remember doing that.
And I think that makes a big difference.